Hey, this is Morgan Page here in the studio. We're doing a little behind the scenes on how I created Fight For You. This is the session, and I'm going to talk a little bit later on about the plugins and the processing, but right now I just want to give you a little overview on how I created it and just sort of the general writing process. Typically what happens is I will make a beat first in the drafting process, start with a beat, do a chord progression, then a bass line, then an arpeggio, usually in that order, and just still leave it open for sort of a lead line for the vocal. So I'll start layering at the drums, getting them sounding pretty crisp and full, and pretty detailed for the drafting process. Too much syncopation, and it's kind of distracting for the vocalist, so it's kind of a kick snare kind of thing. And a way to add live elements much later on in the process, because the timing and the tunings can vary. So just start out with synthetic stuff that I know is perfectly in tune, and it's all kind of organized, 8-bar chunks. Sometimes you can just do the 4-bar chunk way of doing it, but I do it with 8 bars, and I like to put in the little sort of mile markers. I like to put in, it says V1A, PC1, C1, so verse, pre-chorus, chorus. And those sort of help to act as bookends for the whole writing process, so you can see the repetition and you can really draft up a song quickly. There's the bridge in there as well, leading into the third chorus and outro. And I have little markers for last note and then end, so that there's a little tail there. That stuff's helped a lot over the years. And another thing that's helped a lot is color coding, so you can see the drums are all grouped. I actually keep them in individual elements, but I group them by color, and it makes it easier too if you have someone else who has to read the session. So you got drums in blue, bass in sort of a darker, different shade of red, keyboards in purple, guitars in green, vocals in red. You can see how extensive all the vocal edits are in here. It's pretty insane. That's where most of the work takes place, and just sort of building the harmonies, doing the layers, getting them panned just right. And then I got all the buses and the master down below. I never really have the waveforms scrunched up like this, but this is just for demonstration purposes. And what else is in here? Just some general processing on the bus. Next up I'm going to go in depth a little more with the plugins and tell you how I use each on each individual element. Stay tuned.